So we're going to make some Pate Choux. Ingredients we have: milk, water, some salt, butter, flour, and a number of eggs. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your milk, water, salt, and the butter. Bring that up to a boil. And once that reaches a rapid boil, the next thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to add the flour. Remove it from the heat first. Add all the flour at once and just stir it in. You'll see it becomes a dough rather rapidly. Once it becomes a ball of dough, you'll stir it vigorously, allowing it to roll against the sides of the pan. This is actually the stage in which the starches in the flour gelatinize and are cooked. The final product is leavened by the high moisture content turning into steam in the oven. So once it becomes a firm ball of dough, turn your heat back on to low and continue to stir it vigorously against the sides of the pan. You'll know the starches are cooked when it starts to leave a film, a little thin film around the bottom and the sides of the pan. And you'll definitely want to keep it moving constantly while it's on the heat. Starting to leave a little bit of a film. You can see on the bottom there, the sides. We're just about there. That's what you're looking for right there. So it's definitely leaving a trace around the sides and bottom of the pan. I'm pretty sure all the starches have gelatinized. Next step would be to put that piece of dough right into your mixing bowl, and we'll use a paddle attachment for this. The only ingredient left to put in is the eggs, and you don't want to put those eggs directly in to this hot ball of dough. It'll essentially just cook the eggs immediately, so kind of stir that around, let it cool down. Once it's cooled down a little bit, you'll add the eggs one at a time, making sure each egg gets incorporated before adding another one. The number of eggs can vary quite a bit depending on the size of the egg. So just keep an eye on it. What you're looking for is a shiny, yellowish, almost pourable batter, and it'll start to pull away from the sides of the mixer in thick ribbons when you've added enough eggs. The dough itself tastes rather eggy, almost neutral, not sweet. So once these are baked and leavened with the steam, they'll be virtually hollow throughout. They can be filled with a savory filling or a sweet filling. So it's starting to ribbon. Probably put a couple more in. Yeah, this will be the last one. So it's definitely glossy, bright yellow, and pulling away from the sides of the bowl in thick ribbons. Kind of in a spiderweb looking pattern. I'll try to show it to you here without disturbing it. Uh, so the next thing, this can be spooned out, piped out. It can be dropped in a deep fryer and turned into a beignets, churros. We're just going to pipe this out into some basic shapes. So the top of the bag is folded over so you don't make a mess everywhere. Just have a standard tip on this bag. Again, don't overfill the bag. It's a lot easier to just put more in than to deal with a bag that's squeezing out of the top while you're working with it. So twist the end of the bag off, and you'll squeeze the back end of the bag and control where it's going with the front. So you pipe it out into just some stripes, and once these are baked, they'll puff up to about 2 to 3 times the size, and they'll be hollow. You could fill them with pastry cream, commonly known as an eclair. These would be cream puffs in their sweet form, profiteroles. You can make them big, small. This dough can even be poached in a liquid, although that's fairly uncommon. Definitely want to give them a good amount of space because they do puff up quite a bit. So oven's preheated. Don't forget to set your timer. And here's the finished product. We'll break open this larger one so you can see it's really light for its size. You break it open, you can see it's just cavernous, completely hollow. Lots of space in there to put some sort of filling. Same goes for the piped out eclairs. There you have it. Pate a choux.